Kurt Meyer, often referred to by his nickname Panzer Meyer, stands as a figure steeped in the tumultuous and dark history of Nazi Germany. Born on December 23, 1910, in Lower Saxony, Meyer's life from an early age reflected the upheavals and radicalism that characterized Germany in the early 20th century. His journey from a small town boy to a high-ranking officer in one of the most feared organizations of the Third Reich, the Waffen-SS, paints a complex picture of loyalty, ambition, and moral ambiguity. Meyer's early years were marked by the socio-economic turbulence following World War I and the subsequent Treaty of Versailles. The punitive measures imposed on Germany fostered widespread discontent and nationalism, sentiments that would significantly influence Meyer's worldview. But in 1925, at the age of 15, Meyer joined the Hitler Youth, an organization dedicated to indoctrinating German youth with the principles of National Socialism. His involvement with the Hitler Youth was more than a mere participation in a youth organization. It was the beginning of a lifelong commitment to the Nazi ideology. By 1930, Meyer had joined the Nazi Party, and shortly thereafter, in 1931, he enlisted in the SS, a paramilitary group that would become infamous for its role in the execution of Nazi policies, including the Holocaust. Meyer's early commitment to these organizations illustrates his deep-seated belief in their principles and goals. His rapid ascent within the SS ranks demonstrated his aptitude for leadership and his unwavering dedication to the cause. By the mid-1930s, he had become an officer, a position that set the stage for his active involvement in the military campaigns that would follow. During the late 1930s and early 1940s, Meyer participated in several significant military campaigns. The invasion of Poland in 1939 marked the beginning of World War II and saw Meyer and his units engaged in brutal combat. His actions during these early campaigns reflected both strategic acumen and a ruthless approach to warfare. The subsequent campaign in France in 1940 further showcased his tactical skill, contributing to the rapid German advance and the eventual fall of France. One of Meyer's most notable roles came with Operation Barbarossa in 1941, the invasion of the Soviet Union. This operation was one of the largest and most brutal military campaigns in history, characterized by significant loss of life and widespread atrocities. Meyer's leadership during these battles earned him rapid promotions, reflecting both his competence as a military commander and the value placed on his abilities by the Nazi regime. In 1943, Meyer achieved the rank of Brigadeführer Brigadier General and was given command of the 12th SS Panzer Division Hitlerjugend. This division was primarily composed of fervent young soldiers from the Hitler Youth, many of whom idolized Meyer. Under his command, these young men were involved in some of the fiercest fighting of the war. Meyer's ability to inspire his troops and his aggressive tactics earned him the nickname Panzer Meyer. However, his leadership style also contributed to significant Allied casualties and the perpetuation of war crimes. The Normandy campaign in 1944 marked the zenith of Meyer's military career. As the Allied forces launched Operation Overlord and began their invasion of occupied France, Meyer and his division were tasked with defending the German positions. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Meyer's strategic prowess and the fierce loyalty of his troops made the 12th SS Panzer Division a formidable opponent. The intense battles in Normandy, including the infamous actions at Caen and the Falaise Pocket, highlighted both Meyer's capabilities as a commander and the brutality of the conflict. However, Meyer's wartime actions were not without severe controversy. His division was implicated in numerous war crimes, the most notorious being the massacre of Canadian prisoners of war at the Abbey Ardennes. On June 7, 1944, 18 Canadian soldiers were captured and executed on Meyer's orders, a blatant violation of the Geneva Conventions. These actions underscored the ruthless methods often employed by SS units and cast a long shadow over Meyer's military legacy. After the war, Meyer was captured by Allied forces and faced charges for his involvement in war crimes. In December 1945, he was tried by a Canadian military court in Aurich, Germany, for the killings at the Abbey Ardennes. The trial was a significant event, drawing considerable attention and contributing to the broader discourse on justice and accountability for war crimes. Meyer was found guilty and sentenced to death. However, this sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment due to a combination of political pressures, shifting post-war sentiments, and the complexities of administering justice in the immediate aftermath of the war. Meyer's imprisonment did not mark the end of his story. After serving only 9 years of his life sentence, he was released in 1954. This early release was influenced by various factors, including the evolving geopolitical landscape of the Cold War, which saw former enemies realign against the Soviet Union. Upon his release, Meyer returned to Germany and attempted to reintegrate into civilian life. He authored a memoir, Grenadiers, in which he sought to defend his wartime actions and portray himself as a patriot and a soldier bound by duty. His writings reflected a desire to justify his past and a refusal to fully acknowledge the moral implications of his actions. Meyer's post-war life was relatively quiet compared to his wartime exploits. He lived in the small town of Hagen, Westphalia, and remained active in veterans organizations, often speaking at events and maintaining contact with former comrades. Despite his efforts to present a rehabilitated image, Meyer's past continued to haunt him. He remained a controversial figure, admired by some for his military achievements and condemned by others for his involvement in war crimes and his unwavering commitment to Nazi ideology. Kurt Meyer died on December 23, 1961, on his 51st birthday, in Hagen. His death marked the end of a life that had been inextricably linked to the rise and fall of the Third Reich. Meyer's legacy is emblematic of the broader complexities and moral ambiguities of the Nazi era. On one hand, he was a decorated soldier, respected by many for his leadership and bravery in combat. On the other, he remains a symbol of the atrocities committed by the SS and the darker aspects of Nazi military conduct. His life and career continue to evoke strong responses, serving as a reminder of the difficult and often painful process of grappling with history. In sum, Kurt Meyer's story is a microcosm of the broader narrative of Nazi Germany. It highlights the seductive power of ideology, the brutal realities of war, and the enduring questions of justice and memory. Meyer's life, with its mix of valor and villainy, reflects the complexities of a period that continues to challenge and trouble the historical conscience. His actions and their repercussions serve as a stark reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink and the long, arduous journey toward reckoning and reconciliation. Thanks for watching.